Everyone, Tuesday night once again, every Tuesday at 7, Outlawed Live with Ron Stone. I'll be running solo tonight. I know usually we have Mike Idle on here as my trusty sidekick. Mike's busy with some, I think, Trivia Bowl or kids sports or something going on tonight. He's always got something happening with the family and the school. So it's just me tonight, with the exception of Schaeffer Dave Neville will be on here. Schaeffer Dave, of course, representing Schaeffer Oil and Specialized Lubricants. Schaeffer Dave, everyone at the Outlaw Pulls knows who Schaeffer Dave. If you don't know who Schaeffer Dave is, you haven't been to an Outlaw Pull lately. Schaeffer Oil and Specialized Lubricants, one of our awesome sponsors, stepped up their support this year, this 2024 season. One of our great mini sponsors with the Outlaws. We're going to try to highlight those sponsors, somebody from one of those great sponsors, at least every week leading up to the season here. Of course, the season starts June 7th and 8th, the kickoff in Ravenna, Nebraska. Going to be an awesome weekend. You start to see some of the ads coming out for that, some of the videos and the promos coming up. So that stuff will intensify coming up, leading up to that weekend. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Of course, we always need rain, but let's get the rain before and after the pull this year. It blew in about 30 minutes before the start of the pull in 2023 and rained us out for the entire weekend. So looking forward to going back to Ravenna in 2024. Should be a great time. And, of course, the season kickoff, always a big deal with the Outlaws. 2 tracks, big mods are there, 2-wheel drives, pro stocks, limited pro stocks. A lot of the big boys with the Outlaws will be there, so you don't want to miss that. And, of course, if you can't watch that, or if you can't be in person in Ravenna, you might want to watch it on outlawpulling.tv, the all-new Outlaw Pulling TV. If you have an Outlaw Pulling TV subscription and you notice it got canceled, we are changing platforms. We're looking at mid-May before those videos are back up on the website, outlawpulling.tv. So it will be an easier experience for everyone. You won't have to watch it on the computer. Not saying you can't watch it on the computer. You still can. But it's going to be easier to watch live Outlaw Pulling at Outlaw Pulling TV on your TV. So it's going to be on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick and all that good stuff. So all the streaming channels, the major streaming channels, we will be running Outlaw Pulling TV, ladies and gentlemen. So, of course, as always, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to comment on anything you hear or anything you have heard possibly so far here in the preseason, I should say. Robert Miner checking in. Hello from Niobrara, Nebraska. Robert, regular watcher of the show. We've got some super fans out there. I think Robert is one of those super fans out there in Nebraska. Thanks for tuning in tonight, as always. Well, Schaeffer Dave should be in here in about 5 minutes or so. Also wanted to talk about this new series that Mike is doing for Beer Money Pulling Team. He's doing it for the Outlaws. Also, When the Smoke Clears. So far, he has highlighted Corey Schluter, done a piece on Corey Schluter in the light superstock ag class. He has put the spotlight on Ryan Stahl in the diesel pickup class, the 3.0 limited pro diesel pickup class. He has also put the spotlight on Wes Sievers. Wes Sievers is the highlight this week of When the Smoke Clears. Of course, Mike unable to make it tonight. It's just me and my brother Schaeffer Dave Neville coming on here in just a few minutes. Tom Michelle watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we might as well go to that right now. I'll show you what Mike has got cooked up here from Wes Sievers. He is the spotlight this week on When the Smoke Clears. up with when the smoke clears. Putting a spotlight on our outlaw pullers this season. So pullers out there, if you're watching and you're an outlaw puller, don't be surprised if you see a phone number come up from North Central Missouri. Mike might be giving you a call, wanting to put a spotlight on you. For when the smoke clears, going to be doing one a week leading up to the season, and we'll see what happens during the season. I think he's going to try to do one a week during the season as well. We'd like to put as many of our pullers in the spotlight as we can. Of course, they're all the stars of the Outlaws, so we want to highlight those folks as much as we can. It's what folks pay the money for when they come through the gate, is to see the stars of the Outlaws. Let's see. Tina Berger watching from Wilbur, Nebraska. Thanks for tuning in, Tina. Russ Dostal, awesome news that Dave Bennett will be announcing with you in Rock Valley. Hope it's another late one. I'm going to disagree with you on part of that. I hope it's not as late as the Friday night last year, Russ. But Russ is one of our Outlaws super fans. He's, of course, referring to 2023 on Friday night when it was unseasonably cold, and we ran really late because we had, I think, 200 competitors pulling that night. So thanks for tuning in, Russ. Did you get your calendars, Russ? Let me know if you got those calendars. Thomas Newharth Jr., what's up, Ron? Just hanging out here on Tuesday night, Outlawed Live. Of course, Wes Sievers, Ashton Good saying, hey, guys, thanks for tuning in, Ashton. When the smoke clears, Wes Sievers, of course, we're highlighting him this week. Co-rookie of the year. He was a rookie in 2023, coming in now. Expecting big things. A lot of people expecting big things out of him in his second season, in his sophomore season this year. A tried and true chassis that was an Allison chassis. It was in the Ott camp. That was the Warhawk for many years. Had an Allison aircraft engine on it. Now it has that 4.1 diesel engine on it, that DT 466 International with a 4.1 turbo. And he made some waves in the light modified class in 2023. Ended up as a rookie, third in points, not too shabby at all. Calendars arrived. You're welcome, Russ. Ashton Good, wish me safe travels on Saturday morning. Safe travels to you, Ashton. Cole and Wes's pass and Wisner Thursday always sticks in my memory. He was coming my way in a hurry. Had a great second half of the season last year. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So I don't know who we're going to be spotlighting next week, guys, but we'll find out soon enough. Who's ready for the season to start already? I mean, some of the spring weather we've been getting, it's making me wish the season was upon us already, though I'm not quite ready as far as preparation goes, but in spirit, man, I'd sure love to go pulling. June 7th and 8th. Let's see what we have. 58 days last week. So that means 50 or 51. I think there was actually 57 as of last Tuesday. So we're getting closer. We're getting way closer. Ashton Good heading to Talladega. Saturday morning is going to be a fun week. I want to watch some fast cars on Sunday. Have fun. Safe travels. Thomas Newharth. Saying I have to go back and see what the heck we're referring to, Thomas. And sometimes the thing kind of locks up on me here. Oh, he's ready for the season. Never mind. I get it. Jason R. Dye from Colorado. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Cole Lundahl definitely felt like pulling season already. Anyone doing a test and tune? There is a test and tune in Missouri. I'm starting to see a lot of information about that on Facebook. And I think we actually posted it on the Outlaw Facebook page. And I'll see if I can find that here and pass that along. But I know it was on the Facebook page. I saw it there this morning. So, Robert, just hang loose there, and we'll find that for you. Wes Severs making some updates to Running Rowdy this winter. Can't wait to have him hang out with all the Outlaws again for season 2. Congratulations on an awesome season. Once again, Wes Severs winning co-rookie of the year this past season. So test and tune, asking about a test and tune. I'm going to find that information. And by the way, folks, every once in a while somebody will ask, they're having trouble finding the live show on Tuesday night. Well, Facebook, now this is done through StreamYard, but Facebook has done something pretty cool. And if you go to the Outlaw Facebook page, you'll see 2 logos there. You'll see a big rectangular logo, says Thunder in the Dirt, Outlaw with some tire tracks. And then there's a round logo there. And I don't think you can see it on my phone because I've got the green screen going. But on that round logo, normally it just has a white ring around it. When we go live on the show on Tuesday night, it has a red ring around it, and it literally says live at the bottom. If you just click on that logo, it'll take you right to the live show. So you can get there a lot quicker. Dallas Todd, hello from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Thanks for tuning in. Brian Tix, Ridgeland, Wisconsin, Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, pulling season getting ready to start getting fired up. Actually, some of the events in warmer parts of the country are going to start firing up here next month or so. Outdoor pulls, that is, like down in Texas. I know the Texas Trucker Tractor Pullers are getting ready to fire up down there. Also, some different brush pulls going on as well. So watch Facebook for those pulls popping up. And, of course, the full Outlaw schedule is out there on our official website, outlawpulling.com. Still anticipating a couple of small changes, nothing major. So the schedule is pretty well set. Of course, any new pulls that were to pop up or any class changes after May 1 generally doesn't happen because they will not be a points event after that date. That's kind of our cutoff. So any questions out there, any comments about the upcoming season? Waiting on Schaeffer Dave to come backstage here. He is representing Schaeffer Oil and Specialized Lubricants. He'll be on tonight. I'm going to send him a shout here and see where the heck he's at. Of course, big thanks to all the Outlaw sponsors. We got a lot of great sponsors. We talked to Kim Bacardi from Titan Tire. Titan, also maker of Goodyear Farm Tires, a couple of weeks ago. Great sponsors the Outlaws and the Outlaw Young Guns. They've got some great stuff going on this year. They're going to hit some children's hospitals with the Young Guns, go in and cheer up some kids that are not having a great time in the hospital. And I'm not sure what kind of surprises they have in store. I've heard something about possibly bringing in some pedal tractors where it's possible to do so, to cheer those kids up. Maybe some toys. I don't know. I don't know what they've got planned, but some awesome ideas coming out of the folks at Titan and our Young Guns. And of course, we always welcome rumors, the rumor section, folks. We like to talk about those rumors, whether they're true or not. We like to put it out there and see if it's true. And usually somebody in the know or knows the person we're talking about or the potential tractor will chime in and say, hey, that's true, or it's not true, or it's partly true, or what have you. I know last week we found out during the show that the Ott twin turbine that won the points a few years ago, Foreign Affairs, it went way up in Northwest Washington. It was sold up there after it won the points a couple of years ago or a few years ago. And now it's back in Nebraska. We hear it's changed a little bit, but it's going to be running with the Outlaws is what I'm hearing in this light modified class. Some different tractors coming in the light modified class as well. And if you go on Beer Money Pulling Team on Mike Idle wrote an article about the light modified class that is really cool. Highlights the Outlaws, but we've got a lot of good classes, and you'll darn near see about all of them at Rock Valley and Wisner, 2 of our biggest pulls in the season. But what pull are you looking forward to going to in 2024? What's the one pull that you know you will not miss? I know a lot of pulls I won't miss because I'm working. So I'm hitting all of them all the pulls that I possibly can this season. Mark Ham, good evening, Mark. One of our trackside photographers, puts out a lot of good pictures. And of course, we highlight a lot of those pictures in the Outlaw Souvenir program, which will be out this summer. We're working on that as we speak. I'm going to run a video here real quick while I reach out to see if Schaeffer Dave is having some technical difficulties trying to jump on here. So just talk to this week's guest, Dave Neville. He is having some technical difficulties. The link is good, so I think he's having some problems on his end of things. Some more comments here. Fred Petch, the legend Fred Petch. Going to be in Ravenna, Nebraska. Good to hear. Fred, is the tractor ready yet? The new Thermal Thunder, is it ready? We want to know. Mark Willis says he will not miss Warrensburg, Missouri. A good one for sure. Jason Dye will definitely come back to Wisner, Thunder by the River. Another good one as well. Thomas Shell Wisner. Marty Samuelson, the mayor of Ravenna, Nebraska. One of our super fans. Saying hey from Ravenna. Jason Dye, one of my favorite is Junkyard Dog and Bill. Fred Petch. No, Fred, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear the Thermal Thunder is going to be ready to go at Ravenna, that new twin turbine version of Thermal Thunder. So without further ado, Wayne, Nebraska keeps getting better. Yes, it does. Wayne, Nebraska, grow and pull. Look for that one to most likely be a 2-night event next year. We came close to doing it this year. Tom Fountain, is this true? Heard it. Outlaw had a new rule. If you haven't heard a rumor by 10 o'clock, you're supposed to start one. Yes. Yep. Jason Schultz started that rule, and that is true. No, it's an unwritten rule, though. But no, very cool. We like to hear those rumors about tractors being built, and a lot of times, pullers will try to hide those builds also. Robert Paul Gravy saying Mound City, Kansas. Boy, that was a good one last year. It went late, but that was an awesome pull last year. So without further ado, he's backstage. I'm going to bring him on right now. Schaeffer Dave Neville. Schaeffer Dave, where are you at tonight?
Did this actually work?
It worked. We are live, sir.
We should have had this planned a little farther to give practice. My tech world isn't the best, but we're here.
Yeah. When you said
you
said it wasn't working for you, so I went and clicked on the link that you sent me that I'd sent you, of course.
Right.
And it worked for me, but I knew you were having some problems there. So
Yeah. Whenever it involves computers, that's not my world. So give me my oil or my motors or any of that kind of stuff. We're good.
There you go. Now, Dave, you're looking well now. You had some issues last year, and you're on the mend. How are you feeling these days?
We're 110%. The doctor kicked me out. He said, "I don't want to see your." How did he word that?
Careful.
Yeah, say that on TV, but yeah, we're 110%. We're all good. Last year's in the past, and I can't wait to get back to see everybody.
Awesome. Are you going to make a lot of pulls this year?
Still in the planning. A couple of years ago, I did 24 of them. I don't know if I'll make that many this year. I'm in the process of getting the rest of the crew reps involved and trying to get them on board as well. It's kind of addictive for me. I love it. Been there all my life with my family pulling. So it's hard for me not to go to them all, but there's other people in my life, including my family, that they kind of like to see me too. So
yeah,
it's a bit of a struggle, but anyway.
As you can see, Dave, I'm all decked out. I was ready for you tonight. I've got the hat going on. I've got the shirt going on here. So I know a guy. I got some connections there. So
we'll do our best.
Now, Dave, your history, you used to be an engine builder, correct?
Yeah, I started out of college. Tool and die machinist is what I went for, but it was just an excuse to get in and learn how to run the machines because I really wanted to just do high performance motors and build my old shop. And I don't have to date myself. The looks does it by itself. But back in the 80s, it was still a $500,000 ticket to build your own shop and have the equipment to build these motors.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more than that now. So that never penciled out for me. I worked in a lot of them. Got a lot of experience with all kinds of motorsports. We started when I was 6 years old with my Honda 70, and my dad caught me trying to hop that thing up so I could go faster with it. And it's never quit. It's just a fun hobby that I enjoy. I love to do it. You guys in this pulling world have taken it to 3 times a newer level than where I've ever accomplished. So it's fun to watch them. It's fun to see what it does. I've been with Schaeffer's 38 years now using their products. I didn't come on board till it's been 8 years ago now that I started in the selling of the products. And it really isn't selling the product. All it amounts to is, in my world, in my mind, is all we have to do go out and explain to the customer and the people how it's different, how it can be different, and then they just understand it and they love it, they use it, and it just helps your competitors out there keep the things alive because they're trying to make a 150, 200 horsepower motor that was designed for. If people that can understand this, they're making 3,000 some horsepower out of that. That's crazy, and they still live most of the time.
Some of them upwards of 5,000. Some of those Alki Supers are making crazy power. Yeah, the motor designed to make 130 to 200 horse. Yeah, and that's kind of where I was starting out with you earlier. Just out of high school or just out of trade school there, you started building engines. And that's what made you a believer in Schaeffer Oil, right? Was when you would tear these engines down, what they look like inside.
At the time, I had a rep that came into our shop. And at the time we were using, everybody knew Kendall and Valvoline and everybody knows those names. And he brought to the table some Schaeffer's Oil. And he showed me this demonstration, which I am more than happy to show anybody out there that asks. And he says, this will let that motor last. You won't have bearing wear. You won't have this and you won't have that. And I thought, yeah, right. And we were running an open modified at the time and trying to use mostly stock parts in a small block Chevy for a motor in it. And in this machine shop that I was working at, then it comes wintertime, race season's over, pulling season's over. And I pulled this motor down. I couldn't wait. I mean, we had 40 nights in a dirt track, open modified. And usually they didn't make it that long. So this thing lasted. It still was running very well. We did a leak down test on it before we pulled it apart, and it was amazing results, even on the leak down, which is just pressurizing the cylinders and see how much air you get out of it. So when we pulled that down, the gentleman I was working for owned the place, and I looked at him and I said, are you sure we want to tell anybody that this stuff exists? Because there's a pile of 15 to 20 motors in the warehouse here that's our bread and butter, that's what we make our living in, rebuilding. If we show them this stuff, that might not be there. And we chose to go the other direction, and it made us look like we really knew what we were doing, and we had a lot of happy customers. And ever since then, I've been using it. I've shared it with the farm economy, the greases, all the products throughout the whole line. They will not even think about selling something that they can't make better than our competitors out there. I have everyday people I say, oh, do you make brake clean? Do you make this? And I said, well, we can, but we're not, because we can't make it any better. So in a small world, smaller window, that's what Schaeffer's does. I got a lot of people, I won't say names, but got a lot of people out there that have shared their amazing results just in the Outlaw group, that they're very happy with it. And that's what I like to hear. Like I said, I'm a mechanic by trade, machinist. I was never in a million years would have thought I would have ever been in sales. I always thought, yep, not gonna wear a tie, not gonna be that used car salesman with the goofy outfits on. Still am not. Matter of opinion, I guess. But no, it's I like it. It's a fun thing for me to do. It's a good fit for me. And then when the Outlaw thing came about, I was just doing a little math. That was back in 2020. Actually, we started in 19.
Yeah.
And I believe, Ron, if you could, was that 2020? That was the first banquet in Rock Valley that we did.
Pretty sure. Yeah, the COVID year. Well, let's see. Yeah, COVID year, we didn't have a banquet. We had a banquet the following season in
Rock Valley.
21. In Rock Valley. Yeah.
So
it was kind of an abbreviated banquet. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. And then that's where Schaeffer's got involved, and that was kind of a let's test run, let's see how this goes with Schaeffer's and Outlaws. And after that, we did a 3-year contract, and now we got another 3-year contract. So we're in our 7th year with Outlaws, and it's just been an amazing, fun time. The people in Outlaws are beyond amazing. I love them to death. It's similar to my Schaeffer's family. I just had one of my customers. It's become a really good friend, Richard Morris. Everybody kind of knows Richard.
Yep.
He called, and this was actually, it was Easter Sunday, and my family chose to do my Easter the following week. He called me up. I was in my shop working. I said, what in the world are you doing? What do you call him, Sunday morning? And he says, well, it says I'm on the road, and he's doing his thing. And it ended up, no more details, but I met him out in Nebraska, somewhere out there, and we had supper and had a good time and had a few cocktails. And he says, yep. He says, well, this will be the first time I've gotten kicked out of here, because we're a bunch of outlaw group, and it was just fun. Camaraderie is what I'm getting at. I enjoy the whole outlaw bunch, and I'm going to continue that. And yes, this year I won't miss very many pulls. I'm back to full health, and
good.
Yeah, we're ramping this up to be the best year so far that we can do.
Awesome. Just as you mentioned Richard Morris, Tammy's comment popped up. She said Richard loves Schaeffer Oil. They use it in everything in the shop, on the farm, welders, pullers, snowmobiles, etc. So that was good timing. You mentioned Richard, and that message popped up.
Yeah, they're part of my extended family now, and I'd hate to be without them. I mean, there's a whole list. I could go on all night of the people that I've become friends with, and it's just amazing bunch. Kevin Bauer, I was in his shop just the other day, and he's working on a sled, trying to get it up and ready for this coming year. And it's just a fun circle of people to be in.
Yeah, he's working on the Red Rock sled. It sounds like he's doing a full overhaul on that thing, doing a lot of engine work and transmission work and tightening everything up. And I heard he's going to flip the pan over and put new grousers on it. So that's going to be a big job going on there. He's had it in there for a little while.
It's beyond big job. I mean, it's almost like restoring a car and take every nut and bolt out of it, and that's the only way you're going to find the problems. And then I told, we were talking to Kevin, I said, we don't have a test track that we can go and play with these. And when you put a show on, there's no option. They have to work.
Yeah.
So anything can happen, but you got to be prepared. You got to have them in the best shape you can possibly have them in. And, once he started putting the Schaeffer's products in, not to make this another spin on sales, but once he tried this product in his own personal sled, he was very amazed. The transmission temps, just everything worked so much better. Some of the days where the tracks were soft and we had a daytime pull, the transmissions get overheated in them, and we did away with that problem. So the proof is in the pudding. Hate to make those puns, but it just works. It does its job. And in the end, it's if you don't have to fix, that's a good day, because
right
in the long run, nobody likes to be fixing, especially on a day that you're supposed to be putting the show on.
Yeah, the sleds are, the pressure is on those sled, operators, especially when it's a single track and there's one sled. Your bigger pulls where you have two tracks and two sleds, you could always finish it on one sled if you had to, and it would go late. But a lot of those big pulls even will have a backup sled, like your Thunder by the River, your Thunder in the Valley. They even have a backup sled. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure and a lot of abuse on those sleds throughout the summer. But I want to talk about Schaeffer Oil here. Pullers, especially Outlaw pullers, are very loyal to our sponsors. They don't always jump on board right away, but also they won't. If it's not a proven product, if it doesn't work for them, they will change. But from what I've heard, a lot of the pullers that have went to Schaeffer's have never turned back, and you're just gaining ground amongst pullers and fans alike. I switched to Schaeffer's a few years ago because I know a good rep. So, and he got me the
what was that rep's name?
Oh, his name is Dave, Schaeffer Dave.
Okay. I was making sure you're not veering off on me there.
No.
Yeah, I had a long conversation with a guy named Dave Bennett the other day, and I called him up and hadn't chatted with him for a while.
Well, let me stop you right there, Dave. You're not going to have any conversation with Dave that's going to be considered a short conversation. It's always going to be, he's an announcer, for crying out loud. Him and I get to talking on the phone, and 4 hours later, we're finally getting off the phone. It's like, were we really talking for 4 hours?
Yeah. So yeah, we had a really good chat, and our phone call did get interrupted with another call towards him, and so it got cut short. But we accomplished our goal. We said hi and got caught up a little bit, but he did mention there's some rumors that maybe they might make an appearance at Rock Valley this year.
Yep, that's the plan. I think he's going to announce with me there at Rock Valley. So, yep.
Okay, that'll be fun.
And he always said, if we ever need him in a pinch, he'd be willing to come out. I think he likes to come out and announce, every once in a while. He's done it for so long, it's second nature to him. So
right. Well, it was second nature so bad that he said, David says, I am retired now, and he says, by the way, he says, I got a real deal for you. He said, I got a motor coach. He said, I really wouldn't mind having you take it. And, it worked really well. It's a toter or not a toter. It's a toy hauler also.
Yeah.
So it got into a little bit of a sales pitch, and I said that worked really nice for me. I just have to figure out how I'd have to pay for that, because that's a little beyond my fund money account. The amount in my fund money, and we got a big kick out of that. And he said he dropped the price $1,000, and I said, well, I don't think that's quite enough. But we just same thing with all you guys, all the Outlaw people, the family oriented the way it is. I never want to not be a part of it.
Marty Samuelson wants to know if you'll be in Ravenna at the kickoff or Gibbon.
Ravenna, I'm pretty sure I will be. My schedule is not in stone yet. I've got a lot going on with corporate and some of the decision making of who's all going to be at these polls and how we're going to divvy it out, how we can get other people. But Schaeffer's will be there for sure.
Okay.
Whether or not I personally will be there, I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to do my best to be.
Okay. Now, Marty, this. I think there's probably multiple answers for a question like this. How many pulls on a tractor before you have to change the oil? I think that would depend on the class, what engines you use. Of course, a blown alcohol motor, you got wash down, you got alcohol getting in the oil pan. But Dave, I'll let you answer that.
I get that question, whether it's on your pulling tractor or your lawnmower or your car you drive every day. And the only true answer to that is do an oil analysis. Now, I know you guys are not going to do that on your pulling outfits, but I have, multiple customers out there. They're going back again, depending on the class, depending on the motors and the situation. They're getting 3 to 6 pulls before they want to switch their oil. And the alcohol boys, they dilute that oil considerably worse than the diesel guys.
Right.
There's a lot of different things to do. I know we won't even go into that, but call me specifically, I think is the best way to answer this, so we can go into it in depth, one-on-one, because there's no magical number I can tell all of you guys out there and say, yep, you change it at three poles, 3 tracks times down the track, and you're good. It's just not that easy. We get more specific in what you're doing and just let me look at it. Call me. That's what I'm here for. You can give them a number, however they want to find it, but that's what I'm here for. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out.
Yeah, the blower boys, with a big blower, a 1471 blower on a Hemi, cranking all those RPMs, it's forcing that alcohol past, the rings. It's getting in the oil, and of course, people see that blow by coming out, and they see that crazy looking oil coming out on the track, and that's generally not the color of the oil. It's mixed with alcohol and oxygen and all kind of stuff, and windage coming out there on the track. So yeah, the supercharged engines get their oil changed a lot more times a year than say a naturally aspirated motor or even a turbocharged motor.
But the biggest thing that I can definitely say, any of you guys out there, if you are in the alcohol world, absolutely no synthetic oils. And I don't care whose it is. Absolutely no synthetic oils. They do not play well together. Go with the oil. The protection, if you're using Schaeffer's, is as good as the partial synthetics, the full synthetics. Here again, everybody thinks oil's oil and grease is. It's not. This is a very complex world. Even I thought when I started this can't be too bad. I've been to all kinds of classes that go way beyond what I was in college. Believe it or not, they can still put new things in this head of mine. Classes are very expensive, and there's a very rigid test that you have to pass or you don't get certified. And I've learned a lot about this in the years that I've started selling, not so much in the using part. And I am glad to. That's why I'm here. I want to share all that information with these guys. I'm not a salesperson. All I want to do is teach you guys everything I can possibly teach you to help you have a better year, help you have less wear. That's where we come into play.
Kurt Van Beek chiming in. Kurt Van Beek, Dave?
I've talked.
He says hi, but now Schaeffer started out in 1839. What in the world would they needed oil for in 1839?
Not a whole lot. They started with using animal fats, and they did what they call black beauty grease for the covered wagons. They're pulling horse-drawn wagons, and nobody really had much to make that live. And this black beauty grease was 1839. To put in perspective when that was before the light bulb was perfected. It was an idea, but they didn't have electricity. So Schaeffer's actually, part of their business was making candle wax. Well, and then the candle wax comes into play on how they make the thickener and part of the recipe for grease. So it evolved, and it obviously has worked very well, because I don't know of a company. It's the oldest oil company in existence in Northern America for
Wow.
sure. So yeah, when you go to our original manufacturing plant, it wasn't the very first one. That one burnt. But the one that we have now is considerably old. There is still candle wax on some of the walls and part of the manufacturing things that they did 130 years ago. And another fun fact that I found out after being closer with the people at Schaeffer's, that they actually own 51% of Budweiser Brewing Company for, I believe it was 6 years in the 1860s. They had a little financial trouble with I believe it was a fire, and it's up on the wall. If you go to
I'll be darned.
if you go to take a tour up there, it'll show you in the writing on the wall. It said we paid off an investor in that time frame. They don't say it was Schaeffer's. But Schaeffer, the owner of our company, the founder of it, said, well, they were best friends, still are.
Be darned.
And he says, well, if I'm going to have money in this company, it's going to be 51%. So it was not Anheuser Budweiser then. It was Nicholas Anheuser. So the Schaeffer's name was first on the list, and then Anheuser's son-in-law to be, Bush, came up through the ranks, and that's where Anheuser-Busch came from, and it's been since,
Wow.
I love history. That's some
cool.
If anybody gets to St. Louis, call me, call somebody, take a tour. We're only 2 blocks from Budweiser, have been for all these years.
So there could have been a Schaeffer's beer, Schaeffer's Light out there if things would have went the right way.
If anybody finds it, it's mine. We'll put it in the archives of Schaeffer's. But
yeah, 1839. That's pre-Civil War time, Dave. I mean, that's 20-some years before the Civil War started. That's crazy. You talked about animal fats, though. I think China still uses animal fat-based lubricants over there. If you ever bought a cheap mechanical part from China, I think the grease they have on there is animal fat-based.
It very well could be. I don't know that for a fact, but I would not doubt it. Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a fun journey with Schaeffer's and Outlaws, and it's going to continue. I made so many friends. I just can't get over that enough. And for me to have people call me, we won't get into all the details, but like I said, it's just been an amazing journey. The people are wonderful. You can't ask for a better bunch of people. Mr. Goodwin, I was at his door here just a few days ago, and we had a good chat. And he's getting his pieces and parts put together, and it's just fun. I mean, it's just it's a lot of fun, and he's always got questions. And again, if you guys out there that are listening, if you have questions, call me. There's some questions I may not know, but I will get the answers. I have two of the engineers on speed dial, and they answer the phone when I call. So if I don't know it, if it's not in my wheelhouse that I've had experience with it, I will definitely get to the bottom of it for you.
Well, Dave, that's a good a question to ask, though, is how does someone reach you, or how does someone reach a rep if they want to try Schaeffer's oil or lubricant from Schaeffer's?
It's pretty simple. If you're tech savvy like me, obviously, get on the computer and just Google Schaeffer's Oil. It'll bring up the homepage of Schaeffer's, and then you have to scroll down. There'll be find a rep or find a retailer. You click on that, you put your zip code in, and it will bring up 2 or 3 of the local reps and or the retailers, whichever one you're clicking on. It'll show you where to find them. It'll give the phone number. Mine's got a web page to it that gives a little more detail on who I am, to help you be a little more comfortable about calling and talking. So it's very simple. Just go to the computer and Google Schaeffer's. If not, they can sure call me. But I'm not trying to promote, everybody to call me. It's better if they're reps in their area. Deal with them one-on-one. I can't be everywhere, no more than anyone else can. So, but I will take a call. And if they have troubles getting a hold of somebody, they can call me, and I'll walk their way through that, and I'll get them to the right people.
I'm posting that up on the screen right now, the website there, DaveSchaefferOil.com. You say you go on the site. I'm going on the site right now on my phone.
Got your top headings up there. I don't do it on the phone.
It's got the menu. You go to the menu and then find a rep. There you go. You got an about section, a product section, the different markets, retail locator, or find a rep, and then there's a contact us section as well. So
click on a rep. Then you got to scroll down. There'll be a white bar there that you just punch your zip code in.
Okay, I see it there. Yep.
Whatever your zip code is, punch it in, and it'll bring up however many. And if there's nobody that shows up on that, then you need to either call the home office, and they will get you in contact with who's ever closest, or they'll pick somebody. Or if you choose to, throw my name in there, and I'll help them get to the right person.
I have 4 miles from me, Tommy and Jennifer Wright.
Yep.
7 miles away, Doug Rogers, and 11 miles away is Steve Raderer.
Yeah, Steve's a little newer, but Doug Rogers has been with Schaeffer's. Oh, I should know this a little better, but it's over 40 years. And he's getting. I talked to him the other day, and he would like to slow his roll a little bit, and contemplating retiring. So, but yeah, he's been with Schaeffer's as a sales rep for years, and he's an amazing guy, very knowledgeable. So just click on any of them. I mean, there's not a sales rep out there that's not going to talk to you and help you through whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, a good friend of mine that's also a puller. He runs a truck shop where he does repairs on heavy equipment and over-the-road trucks, and he also has roadside service for big trucks. He actually has 2 single-engine modifieds. He does, and his son has one as well. And he carries Schaeffer Oil. He's out of just south of Eudora, Kansas, Wellsville, Kansas. Bo Enright.
Yep.
Enright Truck Service, and I know I've bought some Schaeffers from him there when he has it in stock there. So he's a believer himself too. So
right, yeah. There's a lot of reps that will have their own inventory. Not all of them, but some of them. It's their choice of that. We won't get into that or why and how come, but that's why they have a rep locator and a retail locator. So I won't get into the sales part of it, but your best bet is to get a hold of a sales rep that's in your area, and depending on what the situation is, they will guide you to whether they should buy through them or buy through a retailer, depending on their situation.
Yeah, I brought up the retail locator from where I'm at, and there's quite a few right here close to me. Stomper Off-Road in Olathe, Kansas, in Shawnee, Kansas, Turkey Creek Cycles, Kling Auto and Diesel Repair, White's Automotives, Sapp Brothers in Harrisonville.
There you go.
So, yeah, there's quite a few.
And what that's really meant to do is, for all the reps out there, we're really set up to sell to direct to the customer in a wholesale type environment. And to the customer that really needs to go in and get 5 quarts to do the oil change in their car, or a smaller amount for whatever reason, then they can just go to a retailer. You can also buy this off of Amazon. Now, that is full retail price on Amazon, but it is there. It's available. If you need a quart of oil for your lawnmower, or 4 quarts for your Harley, or whatever you're doing there, that's the reason why we have retailers on Amazon. in order to buy through a sales rep directly, that's a minimum order, and wholesale, it gets more involved, and it's more for the bulk customers. So take that for what it's worth. Here again, don't hesitate to reach out to however you do, because if you don't fully understand the difference that Schaeffer's makes, you need to at least take time and go find out, and then make your decision from there. But you're missing out if you really truly don't know the full benefits of what Schaeffer's will do for you.
Kurt Van Beek chiming in saying, thanks, Larry, Dawn, and Dave. We love our partnership with Schaeffer's. Great company with family values and great products. And it really is a family-owned company, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. The only person that's ever been in charge of running the company is our president right now, Larry Hofstetter, and that's the first person that they've hired outside of the family to run it since it started. And the reason they chose that to go that route was they wanted to double our sales in 10 years when they brought Larry on board. And they just thought this would be a better fit to help us gain that goal. And it's getting there. Schaeffer's has gained leaps and bounds just this year. Schaeffer's has over doubled the size of their manufacturing facility by buying another property that already had a manufacturing facility there, and then we implemented all the Schaeffer's into that. So now, instead of having one manufacturing facility, now we have two, and the second one over doubled our capacity to get to the next step. Every company goes through growing pains, for lack of a better word of saying that. Sure. And the more reps we hire, the more business we get, and the more traction we get out there, and the more people know about Schaeffer's, we keep selling more and more and more. Well, that's great if you can produce it. Back in COVID, we shut off, all of us sales reps got shut off, and we could not bring on a new customer because of the supply chain was so messed up, and we couldn't produce enough product. We wanted to make sure our existing customers were covered. And that's one way that Schaeffer's is very diligent about protecting their existing customers. So we all could not bring on, all of us sales reps could not bring on new customers. We could stay alive and treat our existing customers properly. But if we ran out of oil, the new customers, the old customers, everybody lost. So they are 100% all about taking care of our customers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, I just thought of something, Dave. We ought to have a challenge to the viewers out there. I know when I switched to Schaeffer's in my pickup, you know, I posted a picture of it, said I was making the switch, you know, posted it to the Facebook page. I want to challenge, you know, our viewers out there, Outlaw fans, to make the switch to Schaeffer's, and then send us a picture of it, post a picture. Shoot, we'll send them something. We'll send them a hat or a T-shirt or a program or a calendar or something. I'll make sure that we do that. But make the switch to Schaeffer's, send us a picture and let us know. You know, put that cord of Schaeffer's there under the hood with you. Show us you're making the switch.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, we'll send you something. The Schaeffer Oil Challenge here. Let's see how many people we can get to switch over. And once they switch over, they're not going to go back. We know that. It's once they understand that, there would be no reason for them to go away from it. Right. Yep. Great company. And of course, Dave, you know, you're always fun to hang out with, and I'm glad you're still with us, buddy. I know it was kind of crazy there, you know, a year ago or so. And it's like, you know, we thank the good Lord you're still with us.
Yeah. I'm glad it's in the past. It was a hard year. We got through it. Like I said, I'm way better than I was back in a year or so ago. Super good. It's all wide open from here on out, and yeah, live life to the fullest and go out and have fun.
Yeah. I had, a similar situation happen to me about 7 years ago, you know, out of the blue, somehow came down with meningitis, you know, and was in the hospital for a week. And it's like, ain't nothing guaranteed in this life, you know, don't take it for granted. You know, we lost a great puller here, you know, here just a couple weeks ago. You know, Brad Zeck was taken from us, and unfortunately that happens. You know, sometimes you hear about these pullers and you never expected them, you know, something like that to happen, but ain't nothing guaranteed.
Oh, no. And I've lived by that rule even back in my high school days. And I was a little bit on the wild side, if you could believe that or not. And my class prophecies, I don't even know if they have that anymore, but most of my class said Dave Neville beat 21 because of all the crazy stuff he does and likes to do. And well, I beat that goal. And now this last year, it's even ramped up even more because, like you said, tomorrow's never a guarantee.
Yeah.
Love your friends, love your family, and live your life because you don't know when the last day's there.
Yeah, it could be snatched away from you, tomorrow.
So yeah, keep the smile on, keep it positive. I'm happy my boots hit the ground every morning from here on out.
So would you be able to get me some hats and key fobs or anything? If we have this challenge, some people were switched and send us pictures.
Look, I will make sure we come up with something, whether it's out of Schaeffer's Dave or out of Schaeffer's home. We'll figure something out. You
awesome.
Give me pictures, we'll make it right.
Heck yeah, let's do it. The Schaeffer Oil Challenge. You switch to Schaeffer's and send us a picture of it. We'll post it, and we'll send you a hat or a T-shirt or something from the Outlaw, something from Schaeffer Oil. So let's make that happen. But Dave, it's 8:00 already. Can you believe it?
I can believe that, and having one together. So the time flies. I enjoyed this. We could talk for a long time, but yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. We wholeheartedly appreciate Schaeffer's. It is a great product, a great company, a great family. Of course, you're awesome, Dave. Can't wait to see you up in Ravenna. It's going to be here before you know it. And thanks again, and have a great night. Thanks for coming on, Dave.
Everybody, thanks. Thanks for your business. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Schaeffer Dave Neville from Schaeffer Oil and Specialized Lubricants. Don't forget, take the Schaeffer Oil Challenge. If you switch to Schaeffer Oil, send us a picture of it when you're changing your oil. Send us a picture of that beautiful Schaeffer Oil quart bottle where you're changing your oil out or changing transmission fluid, your hydraulic fluid, whatever it is you're using a Schaeffer Oil product. Show us you're making the switch. We'll send you a T-shirt or a hat, something from the Outlaws, the Schaeffer Oil Challenge. Folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks for all the folks that were chiming in and commenting and also asking questions. Once again, put it on your calendars, folks. The season starts in like 51 days. June 7th and 8th in Ravenna, Nebraska. Get ready for it. Put it on the calendar. You don't want to miss it. And I'm going to say good night tonight. We'll throw some videos up here. We'll see you next Tuesday night for another edition of Outlawed Live. Got to get past 312.89 to take out the points leader. George Beyer sitting in the top spot. Here comes Jamie Yankee moving on. Oh, Mound City, Kansas, how about a nice hook for Jamie Yankee? Wasn't enough to get past the John Deere. Had to beat 312.89. The young lady goes 319.56 for the lead.
Jump around. Jump around. Jump around.
Folks, if you are in this crowd watching this pull tonight, if you're watching on TV, on Outlaw Pulling TV, you are watching big time pulling right now here in Mound City, Kansas. We are not joking around. They are putting on a show right now. Jamie.
Ken Vaney, Chrysler Hemis. Ken Vaney heads on these motors. 6,400 horsepower. Cotton candy. Cabernet out of McAdoo, Texas.